YouTubers, and welcome to the Retro Computer Kid Chris channel. A slight different presentation of how I'm going to present my videos from now on. I decided to do it this way because I think I've decided, because I've been on YouTube now for probably about 8 or 9 months now. I'm going to up the presentation a little bit, but not being too slick. So that's purely for the reason. Hence how I dug up around in the attic upstairs. I found this little photo frame. I thought it'd be like a nod to the retro console manufacturers of the past. You know what I mean? You've got a Dragon. Now that's a rare one. They're a Welsh company, and you know what I mean. I thought to myself, well, yeah, that's a slight nod. That's a nod to them, yeah. Anyway, basically, sorry for the delays in getting videos uploaded regularly, even because me and the missus, we've been looking at places in Blackpool, and unfortunately the previous one we looked at fell through. But I'm hoping, fingers crossed, we get this one, because it, you know what I mean. Either way, we're not giving up. Stopping looking for properties. So, you know what I mean. Either way, we're gonna go up there. We've set our hearts on it. So, anyway, enough of that. So, a lot of people have been asking me about my collection. Quite a few people have messaged me saying, "We like your channel, blah blah blah. What collection of consoles do you have?" Right, let's get started. Let's start as we mean to go on. Right, excuse the shakiness of the camera work. I do apologise. Right, up top, Sega Mega Drive Mark II. Kindly donated to me by Pompey Games Room. I got like a joypad. I'm gonna have to get a new joypad for that, because I had a look at it, took it to bits, and so I think one of the membrane or something in it's bust on it, so I can get another one of them. The console, Super Nintendo. I've actually got to look for a couple of joypads on there. I didn't get no joypads or power pack with that, which I'm gonna have to have a look at eventually again. But you know what I mean. A Sony PlayStation 1 Mark 1. That came with 2 joypads, a game, and power pack, and video leads, which I was quite shocked at that. And on top of that, however, behind it, the Sinclair ZX Spectrum Plus 2, which was the first Amstrad manufactured Sinclair Spectrum, ZX Spectrum, because they purchased Amstrad purchased the Sinclair Computers brand name in 1986. I think it's £5 or £6 million. Yeah, that's the first one they made. But one interesting thing to note: this is a 2B version. The 2A version, I think it would signify the last ever Sinclair computer to be made in England. The 2B version was made in where Amstrad's own computers were being made. Right, let's move on to the lower shelf. Oops, the keyboard then. Right, a Sinclair ZX Spectrum hard key style keyboard, which was a 48K version. I'd like to get the 128K version. Excuse me, of that version up there, because I know they do the 128K version with the heatsink on, but I'd like to get hold of that eventually. I do quite eventually. And below that one, or rather, what's resting on top of it is below that even. Sorry, I must get this right. Commodore Amiga 500 Plus. This was, I think, the second one that they made, because the one before that was the normal Amiga 500. The Amiga 500 Plus, I think, had an extra little bit more memory in it. I noticed in some of the old games which I used to have, I never had this type version of the Amiga. I had another version of it which was the Amiga 500 original, and some of the games wouldn't play. But I think this one has got a little bit more, little bit added memory in it. Quote me if I'm wrong. And the thing that's actually protruding out, it looks like a floppy cable. I've not massacred the inside of it. I basically use that to basically plug into my Lovarec USB floppy emulator. So it seems pointless removing that to then put it back in, take the top off, take it to bits again. It just seems pointless, so I've left that one in. I managed to do it so I can just plug it in. Some people struggle with plugging it in because they don't have a long cable, so I've digged out an old floppy cable and thought to myself, this ain't going to work, and it worked. It actually worked quite well. So, and just in front of it, the Commodore 64C. Commodore 64C, which I think it was like the third or fourth version of the Commodore 64. The C, I think, is like a little abbreviation for compact. So, which is quite an apt name. And next to it is the ZX81. I was quite chuffed when I got that sent me. It actually got sent to me by one of my old friends I used to go to school with, who live up in Yorkshire, and he actually said to me he found this. I did have another one which I won on eBay, which did not work. Which, to be honest with you, I think when I took it to bits, there was no circuit board in there. I only paid £6, and on the listing it said full working ZX81, and was it £5? So I paid £6. Unfortunately, that was £6 down a pan. That's what you got to be careful of. But I got this one sent to me from a friend from Yorkshire, as I said before, and it works perfectly. The only downside is what you must remember, and I got pointed out by Mark from UK Retro Games, is if you plug it into a normal LCD TV, it won't work. It will just flicker. It doesn't like it. If you've got like an old cathode ray tube TV, you're pretty much okay. It works perfectly. Power pack came with it. Brilliant. Can't fault it. And let's move on to the lower shelf, which I class these as my babies. Because I grew up with an Amstrad, and it has lots of memories for me. Now there's a funny story. Don't want to be sifting through videos to try and find this, but you know what I mean. Just save time. Cut long story short. This system here is a CPC 6128. Now Amstrad in the, I think it was early 90s decided to remodel their old systems and make it plus range. To be honest with you, the plus range, they tried to make it look like the Ataris, you know what I mean, the looks and everything. To be honest with you, it was a bit more hit, miss and hit, if you know what I mean. Don't get me wrong, they did the GX4000. If they'd done it when they were releasing the 8-bit machines, they would have gone on well. But it didn't work. I like this system. This was like, believe it or not, I actually sold this one in 1995. Right? Sold the 618 in 1995. Then I seen on eBay, it was last year, looking at it or whatever, I think it was, looking at it, look at that one, it's a working one. And I basically won the bid, got it delivered, and I thought to myself, I know this might be a long shot, because all my old stuff, my old computer, I had a Commodore Amiga, and I'd done one of them UV ultraviolet pens, which, you know, if you put them on, you get like UV light and it shows up the writing. I thought, out of curiosity, I had an old black light, which was a UV light from one of my friend's shops, and I said, showed him it. I said, I'm a bit curious, and I went like that, I went across it. It was underneath the bottom, which I remember where I put it, wrote it, and it said my postcode, and it showed me a postcode. I was so in theory I bought my old system back. Anyway, that's just so funny. But as somebody said in one of my previous videos about it, it said it's like an old faithful dog coming back and meeting you again. You know what I mean? The CPC 464, that was 64k of RAM, which had a tape deck built in. That's where the Sinclair ZX Spectrum Plus 2 was based on, this 464. And then on another little footnote, the Sinclair ZX Spectrum Plus 3 had the 3-inch discs, which are, I know you're not supposed to leave them in there because you can wipe it. And that's pretty much about it, really. Oh, and what I'd like to get hold of is a 664. Now that would complete my Amstrad collection. That would complete my whole Amstrad collection, barring a GX4000. The 664 was the disc version, but with 64k of RAM. So, you know what I mean? The way you look at it is, if you got a 664 and you got the 64k RAM pack, that'll knock it straight up to a 6128, really, in theory. So yeah, that I would love to get a 664, and that would complete my collection completely. And the GX4000, you get a pretty common to get anyway. So, and underneath shelf that is an Acorn Electron, the Elk, as it's affectionately known. Ideally, I'd like to get in that series, in the Acorn series, I'd like to get a BBC Master, which I'd probably love to get in the future anyway. So BBC Master or Model B, whichever, it doesn't really matter. Then after that, I'd probably get a Acorn Archimedes. I like to look at them. They're actually competing against the Amiga 1200. There's still a few systems I've got to get, so either way, I'm gonna definitely try and complete this collection. And sorry about the shoddiness of the camera. And that's pretty much about it, really, guys. Just to let you know what's going off. I will try and get some more videos up. You know what I mean? I'm sorry if I've been here, there, and everywhere, but you know what I mean. This is how I will do my videos. A little bit. Sorry about that. I'm losing my head on there. So yeah, a little bit more precision and stuff like that on the camera. So that's how it will be. Okay, guys. Thanks for watching.